All right, hello everyone. Today is Wednesday, May 6th, 2020, and this is the Atlanta FileMaker Developers Group. And we're doing a little bit of show and tell today. We have a few people here. I'm going to be showing off. My name is David Nahodyl from Blue Feather. I'm going to be showing a product that we're working on that we're hoping to release soon. I don't know, how about you guys? Do you have anything that you guys want to share?
Yeah.
Any lockdown projects?
Oh, no, somebody was working on that though. I can't remember who, but yeah, we were helping set up an interface for one of our clients. I think that was Julie, but yeah, it wasn't me, so I can't. I don't have any info for that. Sorry.
All right. Well, if you've been working on anything interesting and you want to share, now's a great time. We'll go through this meeting. All right. So let me show our thing here. So I'm going to move this out of the way. And so we have been working on a new product, which we're calling CloudContainer for now. This is the page for this. And we ran into a particular use case, which is this is solving for with one of our clients. And we had a client, I've mentioned them before in our meetings, they survey utility poles. And they have texts that go out, and we made an app for them, and they've got a database and things. They send all these data about the utility poles into FileMaker, including tons of photos. Every day, each tech will be taking hundreds of photos of all these different utility poles that they're surveying. And they have a lot of texts that are all taking hundreds of photos and uploading them all. So we were using regular FileMaker containers, but we kept running into the problem of running out of hard drive space. We kept expanding our hard drive and expanding our hard drive, which we were using AWS, so that was pretty good. We could keep doing that and making it bigger and bigger. But they kept getting more text, and so the speed of expansion, the amount of storage, was increasing, so that every day they were putting more data in than they did the day before. And most of the stuff isn't really important. Like, they put it on there, they send it to the clients. It's available through a web portal for the clients to look at, but a lot of it is just bulk photo storage, like a lot of photos. Terabytes and terabytes of photos that are just sitting there. So it was getting to be expensive with regular hard drive storage, and we're like, all right, they need this on the web. We need these photos available to the clients through a web portal that we have for them. So we need to get all these things in S3. So we built a solution for them in their database where they could drag and drop photos in, and it would store the files in S3. And it kind of worked like FileMaker containers. And we're like, well, you know what? Maybe we can make this available to everyone, because the integration ended up being really easy for us to do once we packaged it up nicely. So we've kind of taken that and turned this into a product that we're working on, and hopefully there will be some interest in this. So this product is we're calling it CloudContainer, and the way this works is you register an account with us here through this site. I'm going to log in here just with my test credentials. And you go in and you make a user for CloudContainer in your Amazon AWS account. And you generate an access key and a secret key. You create an S3 bucket, and this service will put your files and your container data in your S3 bucket. So we don't store it for you. You have your own S3 bucket, and you have full access and full control with that for that S3 bucket to do whatever you want. But we provide the interface that goes in your FileMaker database for inserting and removing files really easy to do. In addition to that, there are other advantages to using this over a regular FileMaker container field. Your data is stored in the cloud, so you don't have to worry about your hard drive space on your computer. S3 has great lifecycle rules, so you can set your own lifecycle rules for your files and move things onto Glacier for very long-term storage if you want to do that after a period of time. We're working on automatic versioning support as well. And another really exciting piece of this is because we're building this platform for it, we can make container fields more interactive than what you can get from a regular FileMaker container. So we can support more types of files with more things that you can do with them than what you'd get with FileMaker. So I'm going to show you kind of how this works. So you go into our site, you make an account on here, you register your AWS credentials, you generate a API token, and then you put that token.
Hey, David, David, I can't see your screen. Just to let you know.
Oh, that wasn't. I thought I had done this already. Well, you know what? That's not too helpful, is it? All right, let's go back here. Sorry about that. There you go. You should be able to see that now.
Cool.
All right, so you go into our site. Let me log out. Here's what we have. I'm going to run through this again very quickly. So you log in, and you get your AWS access key and secret key. Set up your container where you want to store your files. This goes into your AWS account. We have time zone set here just for when you're getting metadata. You can see modification timestamps and things. And you generate an API token here in the CloudContainer admin console. You take this API token and you bring it into your FileMaker database. We're going to make a really nice example file, but this is just kind of our test file for now. And it's pretty straightforward. You copy and paste a couple of custom functions into your database and put your API token in this API token custom function. And that's most of what you need to do. You place a web viewer on your layout. And there is here I'm pulling it from a record, this path container C field. But it is just a calculation. This actually can be a stored calculation here. I'll change this here. And it's just a custom function with a unique value that goes in as a parameter. So I'm using the ID here since it's a UUID, and that generates a unique value. This custom function will put together the URL that you need to access your cloud container data. But that's it for setup. Put the custom functions in, put in your unique value into your function call, and these calculations will generate the URLs that you need to go into your web viewer. So here on this layout, I have a documents table. We're going to put some documents in here and see what we can do with this. So I'm going to make a new record. I'm showing the URL here if you want to open in a browser to check it. On the right side, I have regular FileMaker containers. This is a regular container. And then below this is an interactive container for FileMaker. And this larger window here is the Cloud Container view. I've got some buttons on the layout. We're going to look at a regular container view and an interactive Cloud Container. These buttons are for inserting and downloading files from a regular FileMaker container. And then we can also use a picker to upload and download files just from our computer. So the first thing I'll show here is I can just right-click on this container, and I have a couple options: insert file, download file, or delete file. I'm going to insert a file here and just pick a file from my desktop. Here's a photo. I'm going to hit open on here. It uploads it, and there we go. We have the photo now in our cloud container. This is available for everyone to view. If you connect in this database, look at the record, you'll see this same image on here. One advantage of this being stored in the cloud is if your FileMaker server is in your office, transferring large files in and out when your users are trying to view container data or download files can use a lot of your office bandwidth, but this is all being downloaded from S3, so it doesn't use your office bandwidth to get the containers if you're hosting it in your office. So it can make your downloads very quick for people. All right, so I have a photo here. I'm going to grab a photo of you guys real quick, and we're going to put that in our container too. I'll show another way we can get this in here. So I've got another photo here. Here's the picture that I just took. I'm just going to drag and drop this into the container here as well, and this uploads the picture. So here are our people watching. So if I wanted to save this in my regular container, it's actually a very simple script step to do that. I can use this to download. If you want to take a look at what that looks like, let's see here. Where's our download container? Download file to container. It's a very simple insert from URL script step. And again, just a custom function that you call to get the URL that you need to do that with. Very simple. And that's all it takes to put it in there. And similarly for uploading files, it's another very simple custom function that generates everything that you need for that. I'm going to delete this by hitting this delete button down here. I can also right click and delete file. And now I'm going to I'm going to grab a picture of our logo here from this desktop. And I'm going to put this in my regular container field here. This is the regular FileMaker container. And I'm going to upload this to the CloudContainer. So there are lots of ways that you can get files in and out of these CloudContainer fields, just like a regular FileMaker container. So let's see something more interesting. So this is great. I've got lots of storage, right? And I can put gigs and gigs and terabytes of photos in here, and I don't have to worry about filling up my hard drive. I don't have to things monitoring my server to be like, oh, you're 90% full. Make sure you expand your hard drive again, or something going down because your hard drive gets totally full. Let's try a new feature with this. So I'm going to put a photo in here. So this is a utility pole photo, and let's say I want to show this to the client. So I'm resizing the window here. It just does a little nice automatic thumbnail resize. By the way, these are thumbnails that are being generated by the server, so it's not downloading the full file. It's still pretty quick. All right, so I'm working on this, and I say, okay, this utility pole, I want to send this to the customer, but I want to draw their attention to the top of the pole here, particularly this little attachment. Be like, look, there's something attached to it. You didn't think there was anything attached to this pole, but there's this little box here. I don't even know what this is, but we're going to draw their attention to this. So I'm going to switch to an interactive container. And now I have a pretty robust image editor where I can actually do markup and transformations and cropping and tint adjustments and text overlays to make all sorts of kinds of changes to this photo. So let's say first I want to crop this photo. I'm going to bring this and crop this down just to this top part here because this is the important part. And I'm going to hit apply. So I just cropped the photo, and I'm going to do some markup on it. I want to show them in red that they really need to be paying attention to this thing right here. And let's add some text to it also. I'll do this also in red and say, oops. This is important to notice. I can just drag this around and put this text wherever I want to place that. So I've cropped this photo. I've done some adjustments to it. There's lots more that I can do on here. You can do some rotation and flipping. You can mask layers. And there's even all sorts of filters that we can apply on this if we want to pixelate things. There's a lot you can do. Brightness, photo adjustments, just in general. If it was a little dark, I could turn that up some, and or make it grayscale because we're dramatic with our poll photos. All right, there's a lot we can do. So let's take this pixelation off. I'm going to take the brightness adjustment off. This is good enough. Let's just save this. I'm going to click Save in the top right. We've saved the photo, and now this is what is in our cloud container. Just in line, we did a whole bunch of markup and editing on the photos and saved it, and that's our new version of the photo.
Cool.
So this is good. This is stored, but if I wanted to again, it's just really easy to download these things and store them back in regular FileMaker containers. But with CloudContainer, this is a much more interactive viewer than what you would get with a regular FileMaker web viewer.
That's something that I've always needed and always been lacking in the basic container. So could you talk a little more about how it works? You just click on the image?
To edit it?
To preview.
To preview? What do you mean to preview?
To view the image.
Oh, so this is a web viewer that's on the layout, and I can just like a regular FileMaker container, you just drag and drop the photo onto it. I just replace the photo that's on there, and just like a regular FileMaker container, you can access it, and you can view it and see whatever you want, and it just it resizes automatically when you adjust your page size. For doing the interactive container features, you use a different custom function, pass in the same unique value into it, and that'll load the interactive view for you to do the editing right in FileMaker for your image.
Nice. So how about Word docs and PDFs?
Well, let's take a look at some of those things. So for example, I have a Word document here. Let's put the Word document up. So here we go. We have the Word document on the page. It's kind of just like what you get in FileMaker, right? You get a little icon for it. But if we want to go to an interactive Word doc, I can click this, and here's the full Word document.
I love it.
So you get to view that in here. The text is, is clickable and highlightable. This is all interactive stuff. I can click on the links that are in this Word document, and it opens up. So this actually opened up another page over here. But this is a much richer experience. This is an interactive container here on the right side. And you can see it's not really interactive, right? That's a standard interactive container. All right, so let's try another kind of document. Let's go back to a regular container view. I'm going to put a PDF in here. So this is very much like a regular FileMaker PDF. I'm going to download this into a regular FileMaker container field. Look, so instead of having PDF icon here, well, actually, if you drag and drop on Mac, if you drag and drop into a FileMaker container, you will get the preview on there. If I drag this in here, it'll generate the preview for it. If I use a script, it doesn't do that. On Windows, you can't. I don't think you can get the page one previews on Windows from drag and dropping. I don't think that'll work on there. But here, it will. This works the same on Windows and Mac. You can actually see different pages on here as well. So, and I don't have a nice layout for doing that, but let me just add a little URL parameter on here because I know what I need to do here. Page equals 2. Let's do that. So here's page 2 of that PDF. So you can make a little next previous page buttons to flip between the pages of the PDF that you're viewing right in FileMaker. Now similarly, you can go to the interactive view and then you have the full document. But if you just wanted to show a specific page, it's also possible to just do a preview of that specific page that you want to see.
Beautiful.
Let me take this out here. All right, let's look at another file type that we can support in here. So PowerPoint. Drop a PowerPoint presentation in here. Get a nice little icon. Let's download this. Here it is in FileMaker's regular container and the interactive container. And I'm going to take a look at this in an interactive viewer here.
Whoa.
Let's give it a second. And there we go.
Wow.
So here's the PowerPoint presentation, and I can flip through the different pages in here inside FileMaker.
Beautiful.
So there's a lot more that you can do with this as far as interactive document types. And we want to expand the types of documents that are supported. So right now we've got special interactions for images of all sorts with that full image editor and the Office suite of documents. PDFs are kind of standard PDF views. But we want to find document types that people are interested in embedding and having some sort of richer interaction with, so that we can build these more interactive experiences for those types of documents. So this is still early. We're still adding features to this and doing different things to it and doing testing. We don't have any external users out here right now, but hopefully soon we will get some people in, and we'll be able to try and do all sorts of interesting things. Yeah, let me put this back in here. I'm going to cut someone out of this. I'm going to go to the interactive view here. Let's just do. I only wanted one person here. I'm sorry, I got all three of you here. Let's just get Jesse, and we'll do that crop there, and let's give him some stars here for eyes, right?
Wow.
And let's put another star on here. He's very impressed with this. There we go. Perfect.
So he likes it.
File pick.
How about video?
Yeah, I don't have a video here, but yeah, you'd be able to stream and view that video in a player, like MP4 videos and MP3 audio, same thing. Those would be able to stream down. So
He looks like Elton John.
Yep. So yeah, this is something we've been working on. Like I said, we had a need for this for our client, and then we kind of just packaged it to make this available for other people. And the setup process, like I said, is really easy. You copy a couple custom functions into your database, and then drop in, make an account on our site, copy a couple custom functions in, and put in some unique values as parameters of custom functions, and put them in a web viewer, and that's how you get access to it.
Cool.
And again, this uses your S3 storage, so your storage rules apply on there, and you have control and access to all your files all the time, and you can do what you want with them still.
Right-clicked on the web viewer, you had some options.
Yeah, so if you right-click, we've got insert file, download file, or delete file. So if I select download file here, this actually opens up in another thing. Oops, where's my download going? Oh, you know what? I think I just broke the download before.
What was going to be, how did you get those options to appear on right-click? I'm sure this is my FileMaker newbiness, but yeah, I've never seen that before.
So this is a web viewer and some JavaScript. So it's just gives with an absolute position. And we just intercept the right-click action and put it on there. It's like you right-click, trigger some JavaScript, make a new div, absolute position, put it at the location of the cursor, and then it's on the page. So, yep, I think that's about it.
So there's no limits at all to capacity? It'll just keep expanding on your...
Yeah, because it's using S3 storage, so you can just keep putting files on there, and you don't have to worry about filling up a hard drive on your server. And if you're concerned about preserving files, you can use S3's storage options to either or you can use their options to set a flag on the records so that they kind of get soft deleted rather than hard deleted on your files. And you keep multiple versions of the files and have a full history in there. So, like I said, we're working on versioning support in here so that you can get all the metadata you need to pull up specific versions of a file. But that would be a use case for that would be if you're working on multiple revisions of a document throughout the day. And you want to store all those revisions more than just your daily backups, let's say. S3 would keep all those versions, and we're going to try to make that so that you can retrieve all those versions of that file that you've uploaded throughout the day between your backups. And there's no plugins for anything. Like I said, the only thing you need to add on here is a couple of custom functions. And there's no server you need to deploy or anything like that. It all runs in the cloud. The storage is in the cloud, and you can just drop it in. It'll work on a locally hosted file as well. This one happens to be on FileMaker server, but you could use it in just a local FileMaker Pro file as well. If you just had tons of files and you didn't want to fill up your local computer's hard drive, you'd be able to do that. Or even distribute a file that is just an access tool for pulling files out of all out of your storage in S3. If you weren't going to host it, just distribute a file that's essentially just an index and a lookup tool. Everyone's working from home now. Maybe they've got a whole bunch of art assets that you need to give everyone. If they were stored in something like this, you can make a little compact file that's just an index and a lookup tool, and they'd be able to download just the files that they need with that. So, yep, we're going to hopefully get some people in here to do some testing soon. If you are interested in testing, you can go to bluefeathergroup.com. And actually, if you give me 1 second, we're going to have a at the top of the page. Let's see here. There we go. If you go to bluefeathergroup.com, I'll pull it up on here. At the top of the page, there's a nice little CloudContainer banner. You can click on that, and that'll load the alpha signup if you're interested in doing some testing with this. We would appreciate everyone's help, getting some feedback and getting some ideas for things that we want to change and what you'd like to see in here.
I'm in. I have a situation where we have clients and just need a place to store all the documents related to each client, just pictures and quotes and information from vendors, and this is great for that.
You have a lot of documents that they need?
If it's a big job, yeah, it's going to be a ton of documents, just correspondence and quotes and vendor communications and pictures and work orders and paperwork, receipts from the job. So all that can be put into a client folder, and I think this would be great.
Well, cool. We'll definitely sign up, register for the that alpha test, and when we're ready to open that up, we'll get you an account in there.
So the $1 million question, are you looking at a price point yet?
We haven't settled on that yet, so that's another thing that we want some feedback on. You know, what is everyone expecting from this? What is reasonable? We want to make sure that this is an affordable tool for people. I don't think it's going to be much. It's going to be pretty inexpensive. If you have a lot of files, the cost is going to be your storage, and I think that will probably dwarf the cost of this product. Because the access for this is going to be a pretty inexpensive thing, I think. But some feedback on that would be great. You know, what you'd expect, what you think would be reasonable. We're looking for some public input.
Okay.
So, yeah. I think that's it for my presentation on things. Does anyone else have any questions on anything? No? Okay.
No, it looks pretty slick. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I just like the design too. I know you mentioned this, I think, a few months ago. It's nice to see it kind of come into fruition.
Yeah.
It's very clean. I like it. Very user-friendly, and you don't have to be a techie to use it.
Yeah, it's really easy to do the deployment. Definitely the most difficult part of setting it up is just you have to make an S3 bucket, and you have to set some permissions for that. We've got some documentation that we're working on that kind of goes step by step through doing that. And it's kind of just click here, copy and paste this value in, and you're good. So it's not too difficult still, but that's definitely much more difficult than actually getting it working once you have the account set up.
Right.
Once you've got the account, you're pretty much all set.
Cool.
And it just runs over 80, actually, on 443 because it's HTTPS for everything. So it's all encrypted. We don't store any of your files. It's just the interface for accessing these things, and it generates the thumbnails and things like that too. But again, it's not stored. It's just on the fly thumbnail generation. Cool.
Exciting.
Well, that's it for me. Do you guys have anything you want to share? Anything interesting that you've done since you've been in lockdown?
Well, what are the FileMaker 19 rumors?
What are you talking about? Never heard of such a thing. Yeah, hopefully we'll have something interesting on that soon.
DEF CON or Claris Engage. Is that happening? Or?
I think they said they're going to be doing it online this year. They sent an email out about that. So, it was going to be near us. That would have been nice. Just get to drive up there.
Nashville.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be online this year. I think they sent an email saying that. So that'll be interesting. I guess there'll be a bunch of webinars. I don't know how that's going to work as far as, like, normally they sell admission. So is there going to be a cost to attend the sessions, or is it going to be like webinars? Or I wonder how that's going to work. Hopefully the presenters will have good setups. For everyone presenting from home. Good cameras and microphones and things.
So no late night vendor parties. So we won't hear any gossip.
It doesn't sound like it this year. Maybe we can set up some secret meetings. You'd be like, hey everyone, join here.
Secret Zoom.
Yeah.
Click on this link.
Yeah. Shh, don't tell anyone. Click here. That won't be suspicious at all. We'll get everyone.
How cool would it be if, like, instead of just a series of webinars, it was like The Sims, and you actually had like a character you controlled and walked around.
Done
and,
in
like,
game?
Yeah, wouldn't that be cool?
I've seen people do that.
Kind of like, yeah.
I saw a concert that was done in Minecraft. I saw an interview with a comedian done in Animal Crossing. They'd like set up a whole like late night talk show set up. They had the cameras and the band and the couch for the guests and the desk for the host, and they had the characters all like walking on and doing their introduction and people clapping and things like that. And they were doing it all like late night talk show style. And it was really funny having everyone in there and having all the characters, emoting as things were going on. So.
Go. I'll make some phone calls.
Yeah, maybe that's what we should do. Get some more people in here next time and be like, hey, join an Animal Crossing. That's where we're doing it. You get to make it a little Animal Crossing character. We'll set up a big desk, We'll make an office in Animal Crossing that everyone can join in on. So, yeah.
Thank you, place.
I enjoyed my Claris Connect trial, and I did find a bug that I called Rosemary about, so I feel like I've done my service to mankind.
That's good. Now you get free access for life, right?
I'm waiting for that. Yeah, they let me play with it for a couple months, and I enjoyed it.
Well, that's good. Well, that made me think of something else. They have new pricing for Claris Connect too. So before let me pull up the email about that.
I hope it's cheaper because it was quite pricey.
Yeah, they do have some. Here's the document now. Oops, let me open that up on here. So I'll share this in the meeting so you guys can see this, and then also make sure this is on the presentation here. All right, so here's the new pricing. And
I can afford this.
Yeah, so there's the developer plan,
big difference.
$20 a month.
Wow.
And a new FileMaker Plus plan at $50 a month. Now, the developer one's not really for use. This is just for testing.
Yeah.
But the FileMaker Plus plan, this is if you have a FileMaker license.
Yeah.
You're using FileMaker, you can get this FileMaker Plus.
That's a much better price point.
option.
That's half as much as what they were saying initially.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And the limits on this are good too. So before they had a limit of like 3 or 6 flows.
Yeah.
And they've removed those limits. And on their existing ones, they've done that as well. The Essentials, it went from 3 to 15, and the standard plan now has no limit to active flows.
Yeah, just connecting to QuickBooks Online makes it almost worth it because the third-party plugins are a little pricey. So this is a great alternative.
Yep. And then I think removing these flow limits was a really good idea. What was that? I think they've got it up. Where is it? It's on their site now. Let's see here.
Nice.
Here we go. And yeah, so I mean, like a 250 a month, I think removing the limit on the flows was an important change.
It's good.
And I think they also increased the API requests too, something like that. But this was, I think this, this was 3 and 6 before, I think, and that was really limiting. So I think this is a big improvement. And having the developer one is really good too, because just like for us here, testing it, or we want to try something for our clients, $100 a month was a lot just for us testing it out or trying to implement something for somebody. So the developer pricing is really good too. And like 500 requests a month is plenty for our development purposes.
Yeah. Wow.
With Cloud Essentials, FM Cloud Essentials. So I don't know if we talked about this last time, but it's just a much cheaper version of FM Cloud that I think would actually appeal, to small clients, to like less than 5 people, businesses.
Oh yeah, we've got a number of clients that would fit well with this. Like 3. I'm saying 3 apps. I guess they're talking about 3 separate FileMaker files on there. FileMaker databases, and 2 gigs. For the people that I'm thinking of, is a good amount of space. They'd probably be okay with that. It might be getting close for some of them, but yeah, I mean, they've got 3 users or something like that. So this works out a lot better.
But
it starts at 5.
Yeah.
It starts at 5, so that's still reasonable. And it has all the hosting and everything involved with it, which is great.
That makes it real competitive with just doing it on your own.
Yeah, for small organizations, it's really good.
Putting up your own server, yeah. Wow.
And there's no maintenance with it too, so it just makes it really easy.
Right.
All right. Well, I think that's about it for this meeting. It sounds like we're gonna get done a little early today. Everyone go to bluefeathergroup.com and register for the alpha if you want to get in there and try it while we're testing things out and adding some new features. So you can submit your registration on that. And we'll send an email out when we're ready to get people in there. What do we want to talk about for the next time? Or just in general, some things that you guys would like to see. I think soon, I'm just going by FileMaker's traditional release schedule. Actually, how much of this is... Yeah. We're probably going to be getting a new version of FileMaker soon.
Yes.
And I think that will definitely be a topic. And I think there will be new features in there that we will want to dedicate maybe an entire meeting to, beyond just an introduction to the new platform and an overview. Because I think there's going to be a lot of new, interesting use cases coming with the new version of FileMaker. So that'll probably be 1 to 2 meetings that we'll be doing in the next couple of months. What about? Do you guys have some other ideas for things that you'd like to hear about?
Always interested in Claris's roadmap. If we could get that information from somebody, maybe torture somebody.
Yeah, that might be what it would take.
Because this Claris Connect is an interesting turn. They're kind of acknowledging that there's really other good products out there. Instead of us competing with them, we're living in harmony with them now. It's kind of changed the ecosystem. But your example, the telephone poles, is a good example where FileMaker thrives, and that is finding these odd niches where there is no software. Mm-hmm. So I'd like to see what Claris is going to do to help us.
Yep, I think we're going to see a lot of new things in the new version of FileMaker whenever that gets released.
Cool.
Okay. Well, as always, if you guys ever think of things that you want to see in a meeting, or anyone who's watching these videos, you can send me an email, david@bluefeathergroup.com, or just to contact@bluefeathergroup.com. Something you're interested in, we'll try to get some speakers. Or if you have something that you want to present on, you say, hey, this is something that I think is cool. I did something and I want to share this. We love that as well. Everyone always loves seeing cool projects and cool implementations. So definitely share those things with the group.
Rosemary's preparing another out-of-the-box presentation for FileMaker 19, so I'm happy to do that if nobody else is lined up.
Yeah, maybe. You did a good job with the last one.
Thank you.
Did they send you some swag?
They were supposed to. I need to check with Rosemary about that. I want my swag.
I think
I want my cup holder.
I have a suspicion that with the coronavirus stuff, maybe they don't have as easy access to get that stuff packaged and sent out as they did before.
Yeah, she told me she was going to send it. Had a couple phone calls with her, but that's all right. I don't know where I'm going to put my coffee. I'll have to set it on the table. My little drink huggy.
How barbaric.
Coffee mug and. All right. That's all right. Thanks for reminding me.
Not that you're bitter or anything, you know.